Hello, my name is Grace, and today I'll be talking about understanding bureaucracy in the judicial system. So the agenda, we'll be talking about bureaucracy, the judicial system, and 5 things that I've learned. So what I've learned is a lot of misunderstood facts about the government, bureaucracy, and misunderstood facts about the judicial systems in our world today, and 5 things that I'll be talking about that I learned over the past 7 weeks. For bureaucracy, these are 5 facts that I thought were very interesting. Bureaucracy usually gets blamed for everything, and they're slow and annoying in the government, but most people never look past those stereotypes and really understand what they're about. One thing that many don't realize is that the bureaucrats aren't elected, they're hired by professionals. And another point is that our bureaucracy is massive, mainly to the reason that our country is massive as well. And we're running over 300 million people, and which isn't really exactly a small task to fight at. A third fact is that bureaucracy is simply the structure, and it keeps the government functioning in our day-to-day lives. Without it, the laws would just basically sit there. In the fourth, the system is designed to be slow. It's slow on purpose because they want to make sure that there's no corrupt things that are going through and no favoritism or like sloppy decision making in the process. Bureaucrats don't make policies, they just enforce those policies. And most frustrations come from people expecting them to do things that they legally can't do themselves. 5 facts on the judicial system. So people often misunderstand the judicial system just as much. First, most legal cases never actually reach trial. They're settled and resolved long before anything reaches the courtroom. A second thing is that federal courts hear only small portion of all the cases, and so the real workload happens in state courts, handling everyday issues and issues that affect people directly. Third, the Supreme Court takes very few cases compared to how many petitions they receive. Even major national issues never really make it to court. The fourth point is that rights aren't static. Static in the word in the Constitution. They have been redefined, reshaped over time to allow this. Finally, all the courts don't go looking for problems to solve. They're reactive, meaning that they only really can address the issues that are an actual cause brought to them. A lot of public confusion comes from the expecting of courts to act like another branch of policy making, but they're not. And in the last 7 weeks, I've had a couple things that I thought were interesting, which is public misconceptions can lead to a lot of public frustration and anger, and people just, if they don't really understand it, they will get angry about it, and how important checks and balances are in our system. The laws that don't really mean anything until somebody implements them. People have a really tough time understanding that. And then civil liberties, how they protect individuals from the government action, and the media, how important our media is, and the topic was really interesting and how it shapes the people's perspective and decision making. Lastly, just to talk about the summary, we just talked about bureaucracy and how it exists and carry out laws, and people often misinterpret those, and then also the judicial system. And altogether in this course, I understood a lot of interesting new things and how the system of the American government works and its policies. Thank you.